Hi, I'm Laura Hoy for Benzinga, and here's a look at what you can expect from the markets today, Wednesday, September 11. President Barack Obama confirmed on Tuesday that he's going to hit the pause button on his plans to launch targeted military attacks on Syria. The president, together with the UN, has agreed to allow Syria to turn over its chemical weapons in order to avoid a military strike. However, as UN leaders attempt to iron out the details of this proposal, the already tense relationship between the US and Russia is growing worse. A Bank of Japan board member said exports are going to be a vital part of Japan's recovery on Wednesday. He also argued for the country's planned sales tax increase, saying it could boost confidence and in turn increase consumption. He said the bank is willing to step in if need be with policy changes, but encouraged people not to overreact to a temporary slump in the market due to the sales tax increase. The Greek Finance Ministry released data on Tuesday showing the country is moving in the right direction. The data showed that Greece has a primary surplus of 2.9 billion euros, which far surpasses the 2.5 billion deficit forecast in the country's bailout plan. After Apple announced a new lower-cost iPhone 5C, the company's shares dropped. On Tuesday afternoon, Apple's shares had slid 3% below $500, and Apple's supplier shares were also dropping as many worried that the price tag on the new phone was not low enough to reach key emerging markets. Analysts are expecting to see the Federal Reserve announce the beginning of its tapering program at next week's policy meeting. Most are expecting to see the bank cut its asset buying program by $10 billion, down from previous estimates of a $15 billion reduction. Asian markets were mixed on Wednesday. The Shanghai Composite was up 0.15%, but the Shenzhen Composite was down 0.50%. The South Korean Kospi was up 0.49%, and Australia's ASX 200 was up 0.64%. The Hang Seng Index was down 0.42%, and the Japanese Nikkei Index was mostly flat. European markets were also mixed. The UK's FTSE was down 0.14%, and the Stoxx 600 was mostly flat with just 0.04% gains. France's CAC 40 was down 0.20%, and Italy's MIB was up 0.92%. Brent futures for October delivery were up 0.52%, but WTI futures were down 0.13%. Gold gained 0.15%, and silver was up 0.36%. Copper gained 0.28%, but aluminum lost 0.50%. In currency markets, the euro and the pound remained steady against the dollar. The yen continued to trade above the 100 yen to $1 mark. The rupee gained 0.82% against the dollar, and the Australian dollar lost 0.20% against the greenback. Omnicom Group gained 1.03% in pre-market trade as the company's merger with Publicis Group approached. Morgan Stanley was up 0.57% in pre-market trade after the company announced that it plans to use cash from its buyout of Citigroup's stake in their joint venture brokerage to lend to corporate and retail clients. Carnival Corp lost 0.86% in pre-market trade as the company struggles to regain passenger confidence after the grounding of one of its ships in Italy in January of 2012. Apache Corp lost 0.38% in pre-market trade, even as a member of the company's board bought 10,000 shares of the company's stock. On Wednesday's economic calendar, we've got French non-farm payrolls and current account data, the British unemployment rate, US gasoline and crude oil inventories, and German CPI data. And that's it for today's Market Primer. I'm Laura Hoy for Benzinga, wishing all of you luck on your midweek trades.